Hello everybody, it's Maikito. Everybody's had a good day so far, had a good day yesterday as well. Obviously you can see, if we keep doing good, I'm going to keep warning it. Maybe it's a good luck charm or something, but we're doing great. I'll go over the picks at the end of the video, but when it comes to tomorrow, there is still a lot of games. It's a Sunday slate, a lot of games to go through. Found some that I did like. If I have any added plays, I will add them in the pinned comment either later tonight or tomorrow morning before game start. I will try to add some. Might not be able to because I will be at work, so I'll try my best, but again, no guarantee. But I did find a couple that I did like, so I'm just going to get straight into those. And the first one is Pinnock to go lower than 7 clearances playing away from home for Brentford, going up against Chelsea. He is a player that clears the ball a lot, but the line is just too high for me. He hasn't gone over this mark in 11 out of 15 games so far this season, so that's over a 66% hit rate for us. That's good. And in the games that he went over against Newcastle, Brentford won, and we're defending for the lead. He went over against Fulham. Brentford were winning up until the last minute of the game, so they were defending. He had to clear the ball. He went over against Ipswich Town, in which Brentford won, so they were defending to keep the lead. And then Man U, in which they were tied up until the 67th minute. And Man U also gave up the 10th most clearances to opponents. And as you can see, it is because Brentford go up or the game is close, but I don't see that happening here. But also, Chelsea also gave up the 4th least amount of clearances so far this season, and he actually went over against them in one game. He played against them once last season, and he went just over with 8, but that was only because Brentford won, and they were defending to keep the lead. So if you see the theme here, he goes over in games in which they're either tied, but almost every single time it's because they're winning and need to keep that lead. Playing away from home, I do not see that happening against this Chelsea side. Plus, Chelsea play an attack by either one individual skill, like one player taking on the team, or like one player finding a gap in the thing, or just sending through balls, and it's usually through the middle of the pitch. And for players to get clearances, either a team has to be playing long balls or a team that crosses the ball a lot. But Chelsea is not that. In general, I just feel like this is a good matchup and just too high of a mark. So I like Pinnock to go lower than 7 clearances. And then the second prop that I found that I like is Antonio Nusa to go higher than 1.5 shots playing at home for Leipzig, going up against Eintracht Frankfurt. He has only gone over this mark in 3 out of 9 starts, but you need context for why he went under these games. The games he went under, it was one away to Mainz, in which they were playing a 3-4-2-1. He was playing as the left mid in the 3-4-2-1, so he was a lot more defensive than he usually would. I'll mention that, why I mentioned that later on in the video. He went under against Freiburg, who gave up the 6th least amount of shots. He went under away to Dortmund, who gave up the 2nd least amount of shots. He went under against Mönchengladbach, in which he was playing as a left mid in a 3-4-2-1, so he was playing much more defensive. He went under against Hoffenheim, again in which he was playing that 3-4-2-1. He went under against Kiel, in which Leipzig in general only took 9 shots in total overall in the whole game. 4 out of the 6 games that he went under, he played away from home, and it's just finally a good matchup at home in which he's going to be playing in a 4-4-2. So 1, finally has a good matchup at home. Again, he goes under away, and 2, he's actually going to be able to be much more attacking than what he usually has in the games that he's gone under. Frankfurt gave up the 5th most shots to opponents at 15.8, and then increases to 16.9 whenever they play away from home. And Frankfurt are weak against long shots, and because Nusa plays on the wing, he's a really good dribbler. He likes to cut in and take those shots, so a lot of his shots are from long shots as well, and he's not afraid to take those shots, which is good for us. And he's been playing there ever since Xavi Simons got injured, and ever since he's played up for him, he's played full minutes in all of the games that he's played, so he's going to be a player that stays on the pitch a lot. And last season, when he played in the Belgian league, he played 30 games, half of them more off the bench. But when you look at how many shots he averages per 90, he averaged 2.95 shots per 90. So as long as he gets the opportunities and he stays on the pitch, I like this mark. I think you're getting good value here because of the amount of times he's gone under. But he finally has a good matchup in an attacking role at home. So I like this line. I like the matchup. So I like Antonio Nusa to go higher than 1.5 shots. If this prop does go away or gets bumped up to 2, you can look at his shots assisted line. I do like that one as well, but I like the shots one just a little bit more. Before I get into the money lines, if you guys could like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and comment. It helps boost the video out to more people, and it helps support the channel. And if you want to support the channel just a little bit more, I do have the YouTube memberships available in the description. That's the only form of quote-unquote premium that I offer, but it's just for those that want to get the content out early before it goes out public, because these lines do tend to get bumped and taken away relatively frequently, especially after it goes public. I don't hide the picks or anything. It's not like there's any special picks. It's just for those, again, want to support the channel and get the picks out early. And then any pictures that you do see on the screen are from a data app called Outlier. Link for that in the description as well. And all my codes for everything, player prop wise, money line wise, including where I do my ladder challenge picks, is linked in the description. And I really want to thank anybody who supports me in any way. We are on to day 5 of the ladder challenge. Day 1 through 4 were successful. We're on to day 5, and the money line that I found that I like for tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching the video, is the Atletico Madrid money line for -290, playing at home, going up against Getafe. They're in really good form. They have won their last 10 games straight. It's not like they've drawn any of those. They've won all 10 of those games straight, which is good for us. They're undefeated at home in the league with 6 wins and 2 draws. They've scored 18 goals in those games, so they average over 2 goals scored, and they've conceded 6, so they concede less than a goal a game at home, which is great for us. And Getafe have a decent defense. They've conceded 9 goals and 7 away, but they still average over a goal conceded a game. And another reason why I like this is because Getafe have the worst attack away from home. They've only scored 3 goals in those 7 games. They've drawn 2 and lost 5 away, so they haven't won a single game. They've lost 5 out of 7 games, which is a good matchup for us. And they were decent sometimes in the attack last season, but their 2 best players who contributed to almost every single one of their goals, Greenwood is gone to Marseille, and Majoral is injured, and he's been injured for a while. So they are already bad in the attack because of their injuries, and they're decent in the defense, but they still concede goals regardless. And Atletico's main weakness that they had in the beginning of the season was their ability or inability to score, which is why they were drawing a lot of games. But they have fixed that issue, and they seem to have fixed it because, again, they've won their last 10 straight, and they've scored 3+ goals in their last 5 games straight. And in some of those, as you can see, they scored 6, they scored 5, they scored 3, they scored 4, and they scored 3. So they've been great in the attack. So Getafe are going to be just defending a lot. They have a lot to look out for, and I just feel like it's going to be too much for Getafe to handle. Atletico Madrid are fully healthy, so they have a lot of great players that can attack, such as Lino, Griezmann, Alvarez, Sorloth. They just have a great team. Getafe don't keep possession as it is, so they're just going to be defending against this Atletico side. And Atletico, once they hold the lead, they will hold it, so they're a great defensive side. They've been doing great at attack, so I like this at home. I like Atletico Madrid money line for -290 for our day 5 of the ladder challenge. And the second prop that I found that I like is in the Liga MX, and that's Club America to win or draw, going up against Monterrey for -155. I am a little biased. I did say this last time I took an America prop. It hit then, and hopefully this hits here. But regardless, I like it, the matchup, whether or not I'm biased or not. America won the first leg at home 2-1. So for this, it's the finals. And Liga MX, in the finals, it's not just one game. There's 2 legs, home and away. So Monterrey would need to win this game. Even if they draw, America still win the championship. So they would be satisfied with the draw regardless. But playing it safer, will take the win or draw. And then Monterrey's goal that they scored in the first game came from a brilliant individual goal from Canales, but he's doubtful to play because he has picked up an injury after that game. He got subbed off in the 63rd minute, so there's a good chance he might not even play. And then another player, a very dangerous winger for them, Ocampos, who's a great player for them, also came off injured 4 minutes into the first leg, so he might not play as well. So that's 2 major injuries for Monterrey in this game, and in a game where they need to attack. It's not like it's a defensive injury, in which that's not where they're worried about. They're worried about attack because they need to score. They have 2 really important attackers for them, both injured, which is good for us. And America is undefeated against Monterrey in their last 5 games. They've beat them, I think, pretty much 4 out of the 5. They might have drawn 1, but they've always had the upper hand recently against Monterrey. And with the winner draw here, America will 3P when it comes to Liga MX championships, and that's only happened 3 times in the history of the Liga MX, and America was one of them, and the most recent ones, but that was back in like the 60s. So if they win this, they will have the motivation, and they'll be the first team to 3P twice. So it's a gut call. You can call it a gut call, you can call it bias, you can call it what it is, but one, They could 3P here, and 2 Monterrey have significant injuries, so I like this prop here. I like America or draw for -155 going up against Monterrey. Thank you everybody for watching. Quickly going over last video's picks. Like I mentioned, it's actually been 4 videos straight now in which we swept all the money lines. We're on an 8-0 run. Obviously the ladder challenge shit that was Bremen their draw. I did say they were much more likely to win, but we played it safer. They did win. They won 2-0. That was good for us. And Leverkusen, the other money line play, also won. They hit. They won 2-0, same exact score line. So we're great when it comes to money lines. Player prop wise, this video or last video I guess wasn't that great. It was a 1 and 2 day. Semedo higher than 0.5 shots. I didn't expect him to play as a center back. Doherty played at the position where he usually plays, so he was much more defensive and didn't get to press up as much as he wanted to, so that was unfortunate for us. Rodrigo higher than 2 shots, he hit for us, and I did have an added play, Connor Chaplin, to go lower than 0.5 shots on target because he only had 3 the whole season, but guess what, he took a long shot, hit an easy shot, and that unfortunately missed. It was a 1 and 2 day with player props, but we did great when it comes to the money lines. I've been doing great in the last 4 videos. Hopefully we can carry on the momentum into tomorrow's slate and can do that in both player props and money line wise. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.